Hola, Krista. Hola, Kifal. Because I'm over here and I can't tap on the screen and give you guys hearts, I figured out a way to give y'all hearts. This is orgone energy, and even by looking at it, you get an energetic frequency. It's healing energy. So I'm going to put that there while we talk about soulmates, twin flames. Everybody's looking for theirs. Everybody's looking for their soulmate. Everybody's looking for their twin flame. And what people fail to recognize is that everybody that you connect with is a soulmate. Hola, key perspective. Everybody that you connect with in your life is for a reason. And that's a soulmate. Everybody that you connected with in other lifetimes, those are the people that you are connected with in this lifetime. It may not have been the same relationship, but there's definitely soul connections. Soul connections are real. When we look at romanticism or when we look at movies and stuff like that, they have a perception that they want us to believe of what soulmates are. So they project that. But the truth is that energetically speaking, being energetic beings, always connected to the all, always, everlasting energy, those things are, it's science. It's just the way that it is. It's not even, like this belief system. It's not religion. It really is something that is provable, and there's formulas, and it's just the way that nature works. So you have lots and lots of soulmates. When it comes to a twin flame, do your research on what these things are. A twin flame it's like a spirit that was born, or let me put it this way, like an embryo born together like twins, but in a soul twins that mirror each other, that help each other, that connect with each other in a way that it's not about just being romantical. It's about being able to execute your mission as a soul being in this space and time. It's someone, when you connect with a twin flame, that person, that individual, that other soul being is going to be able to help you get to the next level of your evolution, whatever that is. And that doesn't mean, get rich or, what somebody else equates to as success. But in the evolution of the soul, being able to connect, that person is going to help you connect with who you are. That is a twin flame. A twin flame is not, we have the most amazing sex. But let me tell you something. A twin flame sex is no joke. If you are having relations, if you're doing that spiritual act with a twin flame, you are going to experience some real intense energy. It's an energy that's undescribable, and it is the kind of energy that keeps you in a relationship through all of the craziness, through all of the growth. I have been with my twin flame for 26 years now. And it's been, I met him when he was 17 years old, I was 19. And it's been a very strong connection ever since, through everything, through other relationships, it's been a real intense relationship. It was like, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Hancock, but it was like Hancock. It was like we would come together and then it would just be really explosive, but we couldn't be away from each other. And it wasn't anything it was just really expanding. It's like you're growing up with somebody, and then when you have the beliefs of ownership, like people in relationships believe that, okay, if you're with me and I'm with you, then that means I own you. That's not real. You are a free soul being, and you would want to be, when you're united with somebody, Because this is a person that I call my husband out, but I've never been like legally married. I don't believe in that system shit. So it's like I'm not doing that. But marriage is in the heart. And so when you've connected with somebody because your soul wants to be in that space, that is a connection. It's not the ring. It's not the, what the documents say. It's not even what outside people believe. It's what you know in your heart, and it's something that you feel. And there are no bounds to that. It's like when you truly love an individual, then you respect them and you recognize that they are free. So if they want to be adjoined to you, then that's cool. That's great. That's the best feeling if it's mutual. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know. But it really is about your relationship with yourself. It's about your self-love. And when you're deep in that place, in that space, it's going to be a lot easier for you to find what it is that you call a twin flame. A twin flame doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have been with somebody for 26, 46, 56, 100 years. But you do recognize that the time here in the conscious flesh is not the same as other dimensions. So you recognize that you've been together before time and time and time and time and time again. Those things are real. And the people that know they're real are people that have experienced it and recognize it as such. That's what it is. So don't depend on anything outside of you to tell you what it is. You know what it is by the way that it feels. And when you do the research on what certain labels are, I personally don't like labels because I don't want to be restricted to anybody's label. What I am experiencing in my relationship with myself and in my relationship with my partner in purpose is equivalent to what it would be described as twin flames. And when you look up what a twin flame is in terms of just the split of a spirit, and that are identical to each other but still opposites. It's like this person is not just like me. We're complete opposites. And those opposites were able to bring us both in balance so that we can get to the next level of where we need to be in our own individual evolution. So when you're in a relationship and you are expecting for this person to give themselves to you, to give you ownership of them, that is not something that should be done. It's not something that that coincides with universal law. It's not something that is natural. You know what I mean? It's like when you look at nature, you do have, and it's not an ownership thing. When a couple, when a lion and a lioness get together, it's not the lioness doesn't take ownership of that lion. That lion is still its own lioness, its own being, And so us as humans, we have come to believe that another person could have ownership over us and tell us what to do, tell us what to wear, tell us who to be, tell us who to like, tell us who to love, and it's not. And I'm not saying, polygamy is the way, or, I'm not with any other partners. I don't desire to be. He's not with any other partners. He doesn't desire to be. But I can't tell him, don't be with somebody. Don't do this. You got to allow people to do whatever it is that they're going to do. Because I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And it's about being honest with each other. And if he decides one day he want to have 5 other women in the crew, I'm going to be like, have your 5 other women. But I don't want that in my experience. So I choose not. But I can't choose for him what he wants to do for his experience. You know what I mean? So it's like when you start looking at relationships in that respect, it does make a difference, and it really does offer a freer existence without the jealousy, without the without all of the conflicts that come into relationships, it's like we're always connected no matter what to every person that we've ever been connected with. So it's not about, am I the best? Am I the only? Am I the this? Am I the that? All of that is ego stuff. What matters in a relationship is, are you able to exist in the same frequency and be able to thrive individually and collectively, because you are a unit as a family. And you do make allowances. No, you cannot control others. Absolutely not. Krista, you cannot control others. And the sooner we come to that realization, the easier it is to be in relationships. And not just relationships with other people, in relationship with ourselves, which is the ultimate. That is the foundation to the relationships that you have with other people. So once your relationship with you is good, you already know. It's like, okay, so check this out. Don't nobody have to tell me to come home before an hour that makes sense for me to be at home. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a responsible adult, and I'm responsible to the needs of my family, and I'm responsible to my own needs, for my own safety. You know what I'm saying? It's like I really like to be at home. So it's like I don't have to. So that's just the energy of where I am. And so I've attracted experiences that coincide with the energy of my liking, like my comfort, what I enjoy. I'm not trying to be with another individual who's going to be disruptive to my time, who doesn't connect with my frequency and the things that I enjoy doing. So it's there's no compromise in that. And so then I attract somebody who believes in the same thing, who feels the same way. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that he's just like me. That just means that he respects where I am, and I respect where he's at, wherever that is. And those, independent frequencies are on a vibration that allows us to exist together. But I am not him and he is not me, although we still are each other. And I know that sounds confusing, but he's an individual and he recognizes it. I'm an individual and I recognize it. And I want to be in relationship with him because we connect on those levels. But if one day he decides, or I decide, that I want to be in another place and it's not in harmony with where he wants to be, we both agree that it's cool. You know what I mean? It's like we are on an individual path ultimately. And there are relationships that are able to last, years and years and years on this frequency. But that doesn't mean that it's a healthy thing. I see people that are in relationships, we've been together for like 50 years. They're not around each other. They don't spend time together. They're not having relations. But you have all kinds of relationships that are existing. What matters is your comfort and what needs to exist for your happiness. So compromising, there are people that have been in relationships for that amount of time and have gotten out of those relationships and became free and became the most loving people that you could ever imagine, because they were taken on a relationship because of the confines of what it's believed that relationships are supposed to be. Relationships are not supposed to be what others dictate for them to be. They're supposed to be what you decide, what you choose, what you and your partners choose. I want to say something about the ownership thing in a relationship. I have a lot of clients that are males. I have a lot of clients that are in relationships, that are married. These are some of the best relationships that I have in my life. And these people recognize that divine feminine energy is just that. So just because you have a wife, it does not mean that you can't get productive, healthy, healing energy from another female, from another divine feminine energy. And all of those energies can unite. Like, I know the wives of my clients. I know that we have and there's some clients that I don't know their wives, but there is still a mutual respect that goes on because people are comfortable with who they are and where they are in relationships. These relationships where the woman has to be, like checking her man all the time and finding out where he's at and all this, those things are like, those are energy sucking things. That's not, and I'm not telling you that because I don't know. I've been there. I used to be that. I needed to know. I needed to know because I was so insecure that, I needed to know. I needed to know that I was loved. I needed to know that I was the only. I needed to know these things, and then it got to a point in my life. We separated for 3 years, and I was able to work on myself. I was able to devote 100% of the time of my life to myself. And that's when it was like, ding, I get it. I get it. And I was able to release everything that was binding me. And I was able to receive love authentically and genuinely without those restraints and those rules and those commands and demands. And I was able to see that what I wanted, what I always wanted, existed all the time. But I had to release all of those things that were making me feel jealousy, were making me feel this was all things within myself. Everything in my relationship was a mirror to myself. And I had to look at it. And I took some time to look at it. And I'm not saying that that's the path for everybody. That's just what I did to get to where I am today in my relationship. And why I'm able to acknowledge it for exactly what it is and, be on a level of comfort that's like, wow, it's just so freeing to know I could be anywhere I want to be, but I want to be here. You know what I mean? I don't have to be here. I want to be here. I desire to be in this space with this person. So that's what I got to say about soulmates and twin flames. So appreciate the relationships that you have around you because they mean something. Women, you can get Hola, Jennifer. These are my hearts for you guys on Periscope. So I'm giving you Orgone Energy Battery hearts. Love, 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 love. I'm going to be doing a batch of Orgone Energy batteries exclusively for the people that are on the Master Vibe, that are part of the Master Vibe tribe, that are part of the Master Vibe study group, so that you can get, you'll basically get the Orgone Energy batteries at what it cost me to make them on certain things. On certain things that I do, I'll be able to offer that to the people in my study group. So I'm going to be closing this out because I think that my battery is about to go in a little bit. I know that everybody is looking for a relationship, and a lot of people feel that relationships outside of themselves are going to heal them, are going to make them feel complete. But another person does not complete you. You complete yourself, and in that self-completion, you attract your other half. You attract that is supposed to be with you. Love is possible to have in a relationship genuinely and authentically. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to be hurt. You don't have to get beat. You don't have to be abused. You don't have to compromise yourself to receive love. So in looking for your soulmate and your twin flame, you're really finding yourself. And there are more than one. You do have more than one twin flame genetically, scientifically. There are many. But yes, they are hard to connect with because people have to overcome challenges. This is a selenite heart. It's a healing heart. And just looking at it is healing. So enjoy the view. Enjoy the day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Adios.